Hey there, this is Adam White, founder of Adam White Speaks and author of A Leader Others Will Follow, The Power of Influence. And today I want to talk to you about my greatest influence, my dad. Do you have someone in your life that has been an influence in your life, that has made an impact, that have inspired you to do great things? I want to share with you today 5 principles, 5 things that my dad has taught me. He has been an inspiration, and I'm so grateful and so thankful to have my dad still with me today. So very honored that he is still in my life and still contributing value and meaning to my life, from a son to a father. And I want to share with you 5 things that dad has taught me. Number 1, dad taught me to work hard. Everything that I am in terms of hard work, in terms of the effort that I give in life, in running this business and speaking to you in front of a camera, it comes from my dad, my greatest influence. My dad taught me to work hard. And dad was the type of person that he had such an integrity for work. He spent 40 years working for Great Lakes Steels, and then it became U.S. Steel. And he worked in the steel mill. He worked in the plant for more than 40 years of his life, providing for my mom and my sisters and I. And my dad would work what was called doubles. And doubles are where you work an 8-hour shift, and without any break, without any separation in between, you work another set of 8 hours. So for example, dad would go to work and have to start working at 8 in the morning, and his first shift would end at 4. And he would stay there and begin working right behind it, the next shift, working from 4 until midnight. So from 8 in the morning until midnight, my dad was at work providing for me and my 2 sisters. And my dad, often when I would get home from school, when I would wake up in the morning to get ready for school, my dad was already gone to work. And then when I would get off from school, my dad would still be at work. And then when before I would lay my head down and go to sleep at night, mom would kiss me goodnight, and I'd have played with my sisters after school. When I would come in and return and retire to my bed at night, my dad was still at work. He never stopped working. We had wonderful things in life because of the sacrifice that my dad has made. And so it inspired me as a young man to want to work hard and give my very best to my work. So the number 1 lesson, if I could share what dad has taught me in life, number 1, it is to work hard. Don't be lazy. Give your very best to what you do. Work when you don't feel like working. Do things. I remember a story of my dad. He had me and my sisters, and back then they didn't have the internet. You couldn't pay your bills online. You had to manually go to the office and give them your bill and then pay on the bill, DTE or whatever the case might be. And so I remember one time my dad had got us together. We were out of school, and he took us to McDonald's and got us some McMuffins, and my sisters will remember this. And then I remember my dad was wrapped up. He had a hood over his head, and he was covered up. They didn't even have the cell phones back then. They had the pay phones. And I remember my dad getting out of the car and going over to a pay phone to call and check on a bill, and he had the flu. And he was coughing and keeping himself covered up. And I watched my dad go out even when he was sick. I saw my dad put forth effort to make sure that me and my sisters and my mom had the things that we need. So I want to inspire you today and tell you about my dad. He believed in hard work. He believed in being a person of integrity. And so I honor him for that. Let me give you the second thing that Dad taught us. Dad taught us to take care of family. Dad taught us to love mom, to love my mom, and to love my sisters. And I never saw my dad hardly get upset with my mom or become angry. He was patient with her, and he loved her every day. And even if he didn't say it, when we heard those keys jingle in the door when he opened the door, we knew he had been working hard for us. And I could just see the love he would demonstrate towards my mom when he would take her shopping, or he would buy her those flowers. And it was just his way of showing his wife how very much he loved her, which is my mom. And so my dad taught me to take care of family. Make sure you take care of your family. I have now children, I have wife, and so I take care of family because of the lesson that my dad taught me. take care of your family. Number 3, Dad taught me how to overcome adversity. My dad contracted from working 40 years in a plant and breathing in asbestos and all of these different conditions. It created cancer within his body. And I watched my dad go through surgery. I watched my dad as a cancer survivor. He made it through surgery, and he had to have a quarter of his intestine removed, and they connected this bag to his body, and he has to use the bathroom in this bag that he has to change. And he gave up a fraction of his life in order to make sure that we had the things that we needed. It cost him cancer. It cost him to lose a part of his organ, a part of his body, because he left it. Now watch this. In the hospital, when he was going through surgery, we would go visit Dad in the hospital. And I'm so grateful that he made through those surgeries. Instead of being defeated, instead of feeling discouraged, Dad was encouraging us. Dad was praying with us. Dad was lifting us up. So he knew and he learned how to overcome adversity. Cancer in his body, facing multiple surgeries, having to give up a fraction of his body. But Dad taught us how to overcome adversity. I don't care what you're facing in life. I don't care what your challenge is. You can learn to overcome adversity. If my dad can beat cancer, you can beat your problem or your test or the thing that you're going through. And I'm so grateful he's still alive today. So number 3, Dad taught me how to overcome adversity. Don't let negative things stop you from making progress and doing great things. Number 4, Dad taught us to be honest. Be a person of your word. Be a person of integrity. If you say that you're going to do something, then do it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. This simple cliche, but it had value to my dad. My father is a man of integrity. He is a man of honor. Someone that if I only become 50% of who he has and become and who he is, then I will be a great man. And so I'm inspired by the life and influenced by the life of my dad because he taught us how to be honest. Number 5, my dad said, keep God first. Oh man, such a wonderful lesson. You know, sometimes we can become successful and it doesn't matter how many stages I speak on, it doesn't matter how many people I'm in front of, it doesn't matter what I do in this life, both good and bad. He always taught me to keep my Creator first, keep God first. Don't put other things, don't get the material things, don't get life's ups and downs, and don't get relationships of any other kind in front of your relationship with your Creator. He taught me to keep God first. Dad is a praying man. He's a man that loves God. And he put that in us and in my sisters and myself. And he taught us to keep God first in everything that we do. No matter where we go in life, no matter who we meet, keep our relationship with our Creator and with our Heavenly Father. And so I thank Dad for these lessons. And I hope that these lessons speak to you. Hope that they inspire you. Number 1, he said, work hard. Number 2, he said, take care of your family. Number 3, he said, overcome adversity. Number 4, he said, be honest. And number 5, he said, keep God first. Hey, let me ask you a question. Who's your greatest influence? Who's had the most impact in your life? You know, you could be watching this and maybe you don't have your father. Maybe he's not with you today, or maybe your mom is not with you. Maybe you didn't even know your father. I don't know what your circumstance might be, but I want to inspire you today. If you don't have influence in your life, you don't have someone that has meant something or impacted you, I want you to join Adam White Speaks. I want you to check out my Skill of Influence course. I'll leave the link here, and I want you to go over and learn how to build your skill of influence. And if you learn how to influence people the way my dad influenced me, I promise you'll get people to buy from you. You'll get people to believe in you. You'll get people to commit to you. And if you're a leader, you'll get people to follow you. I follow my dad. He is my greatest and biggest hero. He is the greatest leader that I know. 5 things my dad taught me. He is my greatest influence. And so I want to inspire you. I want to give you that question. I want to leave that with you today. Who is your influence? Who have you been influenced by? And if you have someone that has influenced your life, that has made a difference in your life, and made you what you are today, then you have a fiduciary responsibility, an obligation to give it on to someone else. You have an obligation to pass it on to someone else and let someone know that they're great. You can influence the life of someone else. Again, meet me over at my Skill of Influence course and learn how to improve your skill of influence so that you can be influential like Dad was to me. I hope this inspired you and impacted you, and I enjoyed talking to you today about my dad, my greatest influence. Thanks, Dad. I love you. You meant so much, and you mean so much to me today. Thank you. This is Adam White Speaks. Come and see me, AdamWhiteSpeaks.com. Take care.
Shutterstock.